I am going to continue my barbecue story that I started last week with my introduction. So, kind of where barbecue came into my life, I guess it's always been part of my life, going back to childhood, growing up in Winnipeg. Always very often had family barbecues with just my direct family or extended family, cooking burgers, dogs, whatever. And one memory that sticks in my head, and it may have only happened once, but in my head it happened more than that, was in the part of Winnipeg where I grew up. There's this great, and there still is, it's still there, this great little greasy burger stand, Mrs. Mike's. And I remember my mom, when we would be having a barbecue at our place with family over, calling ahead to Mrs. Mike's for to order $2 worth of fries. And my brother and I would take the $2, we'd hop on our bikes and we'd ride down to Mrs. Mike's and pick up the $2 worth of fries and ride back home with this big brown paper bag full of French fries that we would have with the hamburgers or hot dogs, whatever we were having. So that's just kind of that one of those great outdoor cooking memories that's in my head. When I moved out to Calgary in 1996, shortly after, bought a small propane grill off my then boss and his fiance. Shout out to the Haverys, thank you. Cooked on that for a number of years, and got pretty good at it. Friends kind of knew me as a bit of a barbecue guy, at least what I thought was barbecue at the time. About 15 years ago, I think, at a golf tournament, I was lucky enough to win a Great Weber Genesis propane grill that I'm still cooking on to this day. It's a fantastic piece of equipment, and just kept cooking on that and getting better at doing different things with it. And like I said, got to be known as a barbecue guy, and that was something I really enjoyed. What I now know is grilling. My introduction to Southern barbecue, real barbecue, came in about, I'm going to say it was 2010, maybe 2011. And for our anniversary, my wife bought me what she thought was a grilling or barbecue recipe book. And what it turned out to be was actually this book right here, Peace, Love, and Barbecue by Mike and Amy Mills. Mike Mills is a champion competition barbecuer. Amy Mills is his daughter, and together they own and operate 17th Street Barbecue in Illinois. And what this book is, there's some recipes in it for sure, but more so this book is talks about the people, the culture of barbecue, and it's just a kind of a trip down memory lane for Mike, largely talking about all the wonderful and interesting people he has come across in the world of barbecue. And I read that book, and it hooked me. I was in. That year at Christmas, got a little Brinkman upright, the vertical smoker, kind of like the the Weber Rocky Mountains, but the Brinkman version from Bass Pro Shops. Just a real inexpensive entry-level smoker, and I started cooking on that and had some successes, had some failures for sure, but had fun cooking. And about 5 years ago, I changed jobs, and my new job where I am now meant trips down to Houston on occasion. So that first one was about 4 or 5 years ago in February, and I was going to be down there for 10 days with a weekend to myself. So I started doing a little research, figured, well, if I'm in Texas, I might as well find some Texas barbecue. And the place I came across in my research and decided to check out was Louis Mueller in Taylor, Texas. So I got into Houston on Wednesday night. I worked Thursday and Friday. Saturday morning, got in my rental car and drove the 2.5, 3 hours up to Taylor to Louis Mueller. And I tell you, once I found that place and parked, it was what you'd kind of expect, just a very unassuming from the outside. And you walk in, you open that busted up old wooden screen door, and you walk on in, and it is exactly what you would imagine a barbecue joint to be in your head if you had a picture of it. Just this big wide open space, tall ceilings, the walls are black from the years of smoke. Just everything about it was just what you'd think it would be. And I remember just taking it in and getting up to the counter to place my order, and the meat cutter gives you that sample of brisket that they're famous for. And I've heard this story from so many people over the years of that experience at Louis Mueller and that little brisket sample. And I tell you, putting that thing in my mouth, it was a hallelujah moment. And that was it. From then on, I was totally hooked. And in other trips since then, I've ventured beyond Taylor. I keep going back to Taylor, though. Always got to do Louis Mueller. But I have been fortunate enough to hit up a number of other wonderful places, like Snow's, Franklin, Regal's, a bunch. If you want to learn more, please check out the blog section on the website, eatmorebarbecue.ca. You can hit the archives button there on the blog page and it'll take you right back, learning about all my adventures. So that's my story today. That brings me to where I am and starting the website. So I'll continue on a little more. Have a great night. Keep on smoking.